Hello and welcome to Thought for the Day from St Peter's, Bexhill. Today's story you might not know. It is one of the stranger stories about what happened and you really want to know the details. So let's see what we have got. It's called Hezekiah Trusts God. Perhaps we can learn something from what happened to him. Hezekiah was the king of Judah and he was a good king. He tore down the statues of the false gods and opened up the temple in Jerusalem so his people could worship the true God again. So God watched over Hezekiah. When the king of Assyria sent an enormous army to conquer Jerusalem, God sent an angel who destroyed them all. Hezekiah was grateful for God's care, but one day Hezekiah fell ill. He lay in his bed, covered with the most awful sores, and with nothing to do but watch the shadow of the sun make its way down the stairs each day. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, 4, 5 steps, 6 steps, 7 steps more, 8 steps, 9 steps, step number 10. And Hezekiah wondered, will my illness never end? One day a prophet named Isaiah came to visit. At first Hezekiah was glad of his company, but when Isaiah told him the reason for his visit, the king was sorry he'd ever let him into the palace. God has given me a message for you, the prophet said sadly. You will not get better. Do what you must to prepare for your death. Without another word, Isaiah left. And the king listened as his footsteps echoed down the stairs. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, 4, 5 steps, 6 steps, 7 steps more, 8 steps, 9 steps, step number 10. It's too soon, sighed Hezekiah, too soon to be the end. Hezekiah turned over in his bed, and with his face against the wall he wept, and he prayed, Dear God, I have tried to do what is right, and I have always tried to be loyal to you. Do not forget me in my time of need. And almost at once Hezekiah heard footsteps coming up the stairs. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, 4, 5 steps, 6 steps, 7 steps more, 8 steps, 9 steps, step number 10. It was Isaiah, come to visit again. Your Majesty, he said with a smile, God has another message for you. He has heard your prayer and has promised to make you well again. How can I be sure? Asked the king. What sign will God give me? He will make the shadow move 10 steps down the stairs, answered the prophet, and then you will know. That happens every day, said the king, and I have watched it, for that is the path the sun travels. But if God can make the shadow go back up the stairs, the way the sun never goes, then I will be sure of this sign. And so Isaiah prayed, and so God answered. And as Hezekiah watched, 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, 4, 5 steps, 6 steps, 7 steps more, 8 steps, 9 steps, step number 10, the shadow went back up the stairs again. And Hezekiah, good King Hezekiah, lived to rule God's people for 15 years more. And here's the steps, Isaiah walking down the steps to King Hezekiah. Amen.